jam sesh after at the end. Next up, I think it's the microphone. I think we might have to. Okay, well, while that goes on, Mr. Reed is going to explain a little bit what these guys are doing here. So if you haven't been to one of our shows where there is something created during the show, he'll give the explanation on that. They're not just being late and lazy with the decor here. They're actually doing something. Next up is Molly Johnson singing I Won't Let Go by Rascal Flatts.
Like a storm that cuts a path, it breaks your will, it feels like that. You think you're lost, but you're not lost on your own, you're not alone. I will stand by you, I will help you through when you've done all that you can do. And you can't go, and I will dry your eyes. I will fight your fight, and I will hold you tight, and I won't let go. It hurts my heart to see you cry. I know it's hard, this part of life, it finds us all. We're too small to stop the rain, but when it rains, I will stand by you. I will help you through when you've done all that you can do, and you can't go. I will dry your eyes, I will fight your fight, and I will hold you tight, and I won't let you fall. Don't be afraid to fall. I'm right here to catch you. I won't let you down. So don't get you down, 'cause you're gonna make it. Yeah, I know you can make it. 'Cause I will stand by you. I will help you through when you've done all you can do, and you can't go. And I will dry your eyes. I will fight your fight, and I will hold you tight, and I won't let go. Oh, I'm gonna hold you, and I won't let go. Won't let you go. No, I won't.
Next up, I'd like to call Mr. Reed. Need a chair set up here?
Yeah.
Okay. Enough space?
Yeah, you bet.
Okay.
Really grateful that everybody could make it tonight. Obviously, when we do something like this, we would like to see hundreds of people out here. But the fact that we've got 50 people out here is half. It makes all of the effort that these kids put into this work so worth it. I like to think of this as being a really creative place. We have some really dramatically talented youngsters in our community. Molly was meant to have a backup guitar player happening tonight. She showed a lot of courage getting up here and singing a cappella. That's not easy. Will's a tremendous talent. It's like a hardly playing the guitar and makes the place come alive. It's like a heartbeat. And speaking of heartbeat, we have in our school probably 40% of our student body have Mi'kmaq blood. And the First Nations people are very powerful people And the drum is a very powerful symbol to these people. We actually, over the last couple of years, have had a First Nations drum group. And they were going to try to get together and sing the honor song for us tonight, but it just didn't quite work out. We're hoping that for Remembrance Day, next year they'll be able to open the Remembrance Day ceremony singing the Mi'kmaq honor song. In any case, we brought Grandfather up with us, and he should have been heated up a little bit. He's a little loose, heading south with gravity and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, Molly's and myself are going to read for you some poetry written by a really powerful young poet in our school. Emma Fleet is, I don't know if she's in the room. She's hiding over there. This is a remarkable young writer, a remarkable young poet. We have a group called the Creative Soul that meets on Thursdays. And Emma's come in and joined us. She'll finish up working with Miss Walker in doing advanced chemistry and advanced physics, and then come down and join us for an hour or so. But I've been lucky enough to have her share with me some of her poetry, and I've been trying to encourage her to share with the public, and finally she decided that she would let me read some of her poetry to you. Now, anybody who can go back to the 1960s, and there are a few people here, remember the 1960s. There were places in New York, Greenwich Village, and in Los Angeles, and in Toronto too, where beat poetry became an art form, a conceptual art form, not unlike what you see going on here. This is performance art. These guys are creating an art piece during the evening, and it's going to be available for sale at a later date. They're creating spontaneously. I think they had a little bit of a plan when they started. In any case, they're going to be entertaining you with paint as we go through the evening. And I'm going to read some of Emma's poetry. And I'm just going to sort of pause a little bit as I read, and Molly's just going to try to pick up some beat on the drum here as I go through. And she's going to find the beat for me, and I'm going to read accordingly. I feel small. My edges are curled up, creases folded into the tiniest way possible, like I'm unable to expand. The sense of smallness is incomparable to the size of the earth. How are you supposed to take so much space in such a large area? I feel small today, like the world's trying to devour me whole, and there's no way to make yourself larger than life. I am small, but I know there's always room to grow. There's power in things that seem meek, diminished, objects and gestures which carry the most meaning. Be careful is also a way of saying, I love you, if you listen hard enough. The world's full of these small wonders. A mere walk in the woods, feeling the grass beneath your bare feet, can alert you to the tiny miracles life can create. It's only rain falling down, but it sounds like an ocean, unforgiving and washing away everything, pounding the earth and turning dirt into mud, thick puddles housing the clouds' tears. I want to immerse myself in it, in nature, where the verdant grass contrasts the honey lilies growing in the backyard, smelling of purity and fabric softener. I think I can learn to forgive what the rain can create. Sometimes we may hold on too tightly to past memories that have buried themselves deep inside your soul. Permanent reminders that time will always win in the end.
To the people who've been there your whole life, and it stirs panic at the thought they will be gone one day. To the childhood fears that never faded and wither as the flowers every autumn. To the dreams that sometimes feel like they're a noose around your neck instead of aspirations and goals. To the mere thought that life isn't stationary. You will be uprooted once in a while. It's okay to hold on to these things, but you need to learn to let go and release your iron grip you've acquired from so much of it. Hallways are bathed in an inch of sunlight, saturated in the pale yellow glow of a heavy day. The shade of dandelion in the aftermath of a bruise, as blood vessels regrow and repair the mosaic of skin. Walk along the hall in sock feet, padding to reach the brightness after hiding in the shadows. You were stuck in the haze, one so thick, even the strongest acetone nail polish couldn't invade. Not until the liquid poured in slashes created from empty hours, an empty mind that thought too much. The room was skewed as you crossed the threshold, but it was safe. Bare held the small things that made your heart ache and hands freeze. Memories tight in the expansive mind you allowed free. Lips pulled thin at the thought of separation. Abandonment never looked so good in you. Frayed like acid-washed jeans that could never come clean. Playback. How did I end up here? The walls and floors are different. They no longer reflect images of a life lived under the stain of regret. A gunshot wound can come in different forms, metaphysical or literal. Most won't know the sort of physical anguish a bullet can cause, but sometimes words and thoughts can have much more of an impact than a gun. Mental distress cannot be simply removed, bandaged, and given time to heal. It's a constant pressure, threatening to cut off air supply. Life is a festering infection intended for whiplash. Wounds come in all shapes and sizes. Do not compare your wounds to others. Some may seem worse, but we're all just trying to heal. Silence contains sound if you listen hard enough. It can ease your mind, uphold the blame-stained pages filled with the same bitter wind conjured by a child's voice. Never cower in the face of terror. Something great always lurks beneath the surface. Even the horrors of life still hold beauty wherever footsteps have landed. Here's to the childhood wishes made years before the world decided to spin and lose its value as we grew. Take some time to acknowledge the silences planted under your old vessel of skin and hope bundled in each tiny sun-dried cell. Never flee.
Normally, people but given that this is school, we're not gonna do that. However, you can make the horns, okay? There you go, Tyler.
show that I'd ever performed in my life, so I figured for my last one I'd play the same one in honor of my late grandfather, who I hope is listening. Alright. So I apologize if I'm a little quiet because there's no mic, so they're being a bugger, so they're hard to get going. If I'm being too quiet, just tell me that I'm too quiet. If I'm being too loud, just tell me I'm being too loud. And we'll go with that. sometimes guitars are a real pain. Strings slip and that's better. There's a funeral procession on the highway. Traffic screeches to a halt. There's people searching for a better way to live their lives. Oh. Johnny lived a good life, but he didn't say. As tears of sadness soaked the ground, the reaper crept and took his breath away in the middle of the night. Oh. We celebrate the lives of the dead. It's like a man's best party, only happens when he dies. We gather round to pay our respects. The souls still searching for the light, searching for the light. So please don't come to me on my dying day. Just let me go in peace. With all the things that I forgot to say still racing through my mind. Oh. Don't you bury me 6 feet underground. Just burn my body in a box and let my ashes blow with the wind out into the night sky. We celebrate the lives of the dead. It's like a man's best party, only happens when he dies. We gather round to pay our respects. Well, the storms are still searching for the light, searching for the light. Searching for the light. Oh. I still get a table because my strings changing in the middle of this.
next piece features Griffin McCumber and Jake again on a piece called Danny Boy, a traditional tune. And I should mention with this wasn't, this is something they've been working on for a little while. It wasn't exactly their favorite piece. Griffin really enjoys playing notes or melody, and Jake's comfort zone is to strum, so I made them switch it up. And so in taking different roles, I think they've really come a long way in their musical ability and exploring the different components of music. So, and I said I would fill in. It's actually kind of a duet with a strummed accompaniment, so I'm filling in the other role. So. Portion of tonight. He's got another solo piece.
So I was going to play something new that I didn't really know that well, but I decided last minute that was probably a bad idea because I didn't want to make myself look like a jerk. So instead I'm going to play a song that a lot of people know. If you were here when the Dutch kids were here, I played for them in the hallway at the end of the day. So I'm going to play Wonderwall by Oasis. Today was gonna be the day that they're gonna throw it back to you. By now the day, but they'll never throw it back to you. By now you should have somehow realized what you're not to do. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now. And all the roads we have to walk are winding, and all the lights that lead us there are blinding. There are many things that I would like to say to you, but I don't know how. Because maybe you're gonna be the one that saves me. And after all, you're my wonderful. Our room is filled with silence. Yes, we say it all. No, we're not seeing our bedroom. So long I can't recall. We built this thing between us. What's the cause? I swallowed all my pride, and tonight I climbed the wall. Tonight I climbed the wall. Took her by the hand. Come too far to fall and see it in. Tonight I climbed the wall. Love so much sweeter when you love the one you hold. And all these years of holding her, some things by now I know. They lie here together. Love will seem so small. The satin sheets between us. Tonight I climbed the wall. I climbed the wall. And I'm ahead. Come too far to fall. Couldn't stand sitting.
So tonight I climb the wall. I climb the wall. Tonight I climb the wall.
All started. Okay. While our next two musicians get ready, I just want to draw your attention to some of the art that's being created in the room right now. I'm not sure that everyone over this side can see what Charles Gillingham and Megan Baker are doing over here on this canvas. And in the back, hidden away there, is Crystal Johnson. Crystal, you don't wave your hand, you can see, I'm sure we'll see behind the card. And we have Paul Wiener's work being featured on the screen over here. I believe he created all of that using some sort of stylus and an iPad. So is there anything you wanted to add to any of
Well, I'll just comment
that?
that I'm very fortunate to be able to teach visual arts here because there are kids in this school who have way more talent than I have. And I just encourage them and facilitate. Paul is somebody who's probably going to be able to say we knew when. He is with tablet and computer doing work that is probably right up there with second year college students in different arts programs around the province. Totally self-taught. I think a good few of our musicians as well that aren't playing as part of Steph's music program are self-taught. And typical artists, one and all, they get into their right brain and they relax and they feel pretty comfortable and in their element, and it makes them feel good about life when they're being creative. And that's why we value these evenings so much and being able to showcase what these characters do on a daily basis. Our art room is a pretty happening place most days, most hours of most days. And we're looking forward to the influx of new blood from New Ross to and other parts. And our nines arrive next year. So anyway, hope you're enjoying your evenings. Again, feel free to help yourself to food and beverages and enjoy the artwork out in the hall at some point during the evening. Thank you.
Ian Singh, and Isaac Hat. Where are you? You're up next. I think they're getting their guitars right now. Okay, these next three students just started guitar, brand new, 4 months ago. And they're going to play a classic folk tune called A Flare to the Moon. We have Isaac Cat, Michaela Duncan, and Leanne. Okay, this next tune is a familiar one by Beethoven. It's part of Symphony No. 9, or the part that most people recognize is the Ode to Joy tune. As part of the music curriculum, one of the things, the outcomes that they have to meet is being able to interpret hand gestures. So I'm conducting this, and they had to watch and see what I would do and musically do what it was I was communicating to them. And we have another little bit of setting up to do before the last two. guitar solo in the middle was played by Griffin McCumber. So I would invite any of the musicians at any point like to come back and jam, play another solo to do so, but that's the end of the one part. Thank you for coming in.